Hello, in the previous video we show how to use Inter VLAN routing using Cisco routers, and now we'll show how to do the same but with Mikrotik routers. So we have the same topology that in the previous video, but now we have replaced our Cisco router by a Mikrotik one. And we have connected that Mikrotik router to the same trunk port in the suite. And now we have to set up that router, that Mikrotik router. We should use or the console or one Firefox appliance, or we can try to use our computer with the program of Mikrotik with Winebox 64. But for being able to do that, we should first add a new TAN-tap interface in our computer. We should use those commands to add a new device that will allow our computer to connect with that router inside GNS3. We have to create the new interface called tap0. We need to add a new IP address on that interface, and we need to bring that interface up. So let's go to the console and just paste those commands. Okay, once it's done, we will have a new interface with IPL will show, and that's our new tap0 interface. To use that interface, we should add a new cloud device in our GNS3 topology. And we need to connect the Ether1 from the router to that tap0 interface in our cloud device. Okay, once we've done that, we could go to our Winbox program, Winbox 64. Here we are. I'll try to make it smaller so it will fit in the screen. Yes. And we can see that now we have a 7.5 Mikrotik. That one below is my real home router, and that's the cloud-hosted router. And we should check that that's the right MAC address. For that, we go back to GNS3, hover over here, and we can say that the IP address is the one we were looking. If not, we could also open one console. The user is admin no password and is asking for a new password. Mikrotik, okay. Interface print two interfaces, and here I can see that the MAC address of the Ether1 is the same MAC address that was shown in the Winbox interface. I think I've closed it. Let me check. Yeah, I think I closed the program. So back to it. Winbox 64, and here we can see that the MAC address of the Ether1 is the same MAC address in the Winbox program. So now with the user admin and the password that I have set up Mikrotik, I should be able to connect, okay, to that router. Nice. Review topology. We have the Ether2, that's the port in which we want to set up the two sub-interfaces, that's how Cisco calls them, to connect to both VLANs. In Cisco, we will use another name. we have the two interfaces. That's the Ether2 interface, where we have to create two sub-interfaces, but Cisco will call it a VLAN. So we'll add a new VLAN. We'll call, for example, VLAN 10. The VLAN ID, that's the identifier of the VLAN, is 10, and that VLAN should be over the interface Ether2, which is the one facing the switch. Here's my new interface that will be the same that a sub interface in Cisco. Again, VLAN 20, the ID is the number 20, and interface is Ether2. Okay, so, sorry, the name is not okay, VLAN 20. What's really important is that the number of the VLAN, the identifier, was okay. Okay, I have two new interfaces. Cisco will have called sub-interfaces, and now I need to set up two different IP addresses. So I go to IP addresses, and I add the address of the VLAN 10. That should be the 10.10.01/24. Apply. We can see that the network is filled, and that IP address should belong to the VLAN 10 new interface. Okay, and now we have to add the second IP address, 10.20.0.1/24. Apply. The network is automatically set up, and that IP address belongs to the VLAN 20. Okay, so that's the setup. We just need two interfaces and the IP address of those interfaces. So back to the Alpine Linux console. That's the Alpine Linux one. We should try to ping the other side, which is the 10.10.0. The 10.20.0.1. That's the route on the other side. Okay, it's not working. Why should it fail? Let's check something. IP error. We have some information about, IPN. We have some previous information about that route, and that was in the MAC address. So we have to clear the IRP table, IP neighbor flash all, and now we can try to ping our 10.10.0.1. It answers. Our 10.10.20.0.1. Okay, it answers. And now we ping our 10.20.0.10, and it also answers. Okay, sorry, the problem was not with the IRP table because there was nothing to flash. The problem was that I was too fast and didn't wait enough for the spanning tree protocol to settle. So that port in the switch was not working because was still checking if there was no loop in the topology, and then once it has settled, I'm able to connect to the other side. So the configuration on the Mikrotik router was quite easy. You just need to add two VLANs. The important part is to define the identifier of each VLAN, and then you have to put an IP address for every interface. And that's it. That's how you can set up Inter VLAN routing in Mikrotik routers. So thanks for watching.